Alrighty, we are live. Happy Thursday, everybody. My name is Leanne Kalal, and I'm here with the fabulous Kelli Fox of astrology.tv. You can follow her at astrolo.tv on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And for those of you who are new around here, welcome. Typically, Kelli and I do a Thursday Facebook Live or a Thursday Live, and Kelli shares everything we need to know about the upcoming astrological trends and forecasts for each of the specific sun signs. Now, we've taken a few weeks off. I know I ended up with a concussion, still a little like woo-woo, but feeling better every day. And like, I'm so happy to be here with you, Kelli. But I was wondering, I'm like, what has been going on in the stars? Because there's some weird stuff that's gone on. But I guess instead of focusing on the past, I'm excited to know what the future holds. I know we have a solar eclipse coming up on Monday in Sagittarius. It's about honesty and truth and justice. And it seems like one of those things, all shall be revealed. I don't know if I'm onto something, if that's the right. I'm very curious, I guess. I'm very curious, and I'm grateful to be here with you again.
Hi, Leanne, and I'm sorry to hear that happened to you.
It's all good.
And I have to say, for the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, this could be a challenging time. So just wanted to throw that out there. There is so much going on next week. It's mind-blowing. It's actually going to be one of the busiest weeks of 2020 from an astrological point of view. So we're already like building up into it, but huge. And the solar eclipse is just one thing that's going on. Next week I'll talk about, we can talk about Jupiter and Saturn moving into Aquarius and what that means. And then there's other stuff as well, but we'll just keep it simple. So yes, hi Lynn. I just want to say hi Lynn, give a shout out there. See me later at 2:00 on my Zoom event. So the solar eclipse in Sagittarius, what it's doing is it's forming this really great turbo boosted angle to Mars. So there's plenty of action and passion and spirit going on. There's going to be a build-up, a big build-up.
That all sounds good.
Yes. And if you're a fire sign or you have any planets in the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this is great news. So I'll take a step back. I'll explain what a solar eclipse is and what it means in Sagittarius and all that sort of good stuff. So a solar eclipse is a supercharged new moon. It happens every month, and it's the start of a new cycle. And it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be able to see things instantly with the new direction we're heading in. It just means that, the moon covers the sun, so it blocks the light. So if you use that as a symbol, it means that it's something that we can't see right now, but it will be revealed, as time goes on. And usually in 2 weeks' time, with the culmination of this lunar cycle, with the culmination of the lunar cycle builds up to sort of like this crescendo, for want of a better term. So the solar eclipse is a supercharged new moon. Monday's solar eclipse is going to be a total solar eclipse, and it's going to be across the southern hemisphere and particularly across South America.
Is it going to be a total eclipse of the heart?
It is. It could be. And if you're in if you're in Argentina especially, that's where we should be looking at the news and what have you. So this total solar eclipse is something is not revealed, but it will come to light very soon. Now, because this solar eclipse new moon is in Sagittarius, it's all about getting to the truth. Or finding the truth of something. But we're not going to be able to find that truth straight away, or it's not going to be obvious or apparent. It's going to be more about digging and researching and being an expert in one thing and not glossing over details and not being gossipy and not being frivolous or superficial. It's going to be really important that we all take care on social media more than usual at this time, because 2 weeks ago, or nearly 2 weeks ago, we had not 2 weeks ago, last Monday, we had the lunar eclipse in Gemini. And eclipses always come in twos or threes, and they're always tied together. So last week's lunar eclipse, supercharged full moon in Gemini, was all about communication. It was about the media, and it was about social media. And everything, as we know, has a shadow side. And the shadow side of last week's lunar eclipse was gossip, or missing the important stuff because we're skimming over the details because we're juggling or multitasking, as everybody does in this world during this era. So what's coming about with this solar eclipse in Sagittarius on Monday is very much about education, travel, foreign cultures. I mean, that's all in the news. It always has been, but more so now because of the issues around those things. It's about truth seeking, exploring, wanting our freedom. So we've got to be very mindful around that with what's going on out there in the world, because everybody wants their freedom. Nobody wants to be locked up at home. But, there's a price to pay. So that's what we're learning with the influence of this solar eclipse new moon in Sagittarius. Now, the other thing that's going on next week is love planet Venus moves into Sagittarius. So we've got, they won't come together. They'll just be in the same sign, but close enough to warrant that, looking around our relationships, something might not come to light or be obvious straight away. And, finding that balance with wanting our freedom versus wanting to be, in a relationship. Even if you're single, even with your best friend, there's always give and take when it comes to other people, no matter what type of relationship it is, be it work or romantic or what have you. Now, the other thing that's going on Monday with the solar eclipse, I mean, that's big enough news in itself, but I just want to throw in there that the moon eclipses both the sun and Mercury. So it's all about communication. Communication is where it's at, and finding that balance with not being too righteous or too dogmatic, because that's the shadow side of this solar eclipse in Sagittarius. It's about not thinking your opinion is the only opinion. And I'm saying it like that because it's an eclipse. So anytime we've got an eclipse, it's always like this tidal wave. So tidal wave energy more than the usual old new moon or what have you. So this solar eclipse in Sagittarius, it's important that we're not righteous, that we're not on our soapbox, that we're not dogmatic, that we really are flexible enough, which we are capable of doing because these energies are in mutable signs, which means flexible and adaptable, that we're able to listen, and I'm saying it like that as well, to listen to other people's points of view so we can incorporate and be open-minded, because this energy is open-minded, to being able to adapt so we can move forward into the future, because everybody's had such a challenging year that we're looking for something. We want our freedoms, we want justice, we want to be able to move forward with our truth. But there might be other truths out there that are just as truthful as ours. I couldn't think of a better word. They're just as truthful as ours. So it's important that we are very open-minded to what's going on around us. Now, as I was just about to say, the other thing going on Monday is Venus forming a sextile to Jupiter. And normally I wouldn't even be talking about secondary influences with such a giant major thing going on with an eclipse. But I'm always excited when this is to talk about one of the most beneficial and positive aspects in astrology is Venus sextile Jupiter. And that's happening on Monday as well. And it's happening at the very last degree of Scorpio. So anytime there's something at the first or last first or last day of a sign, it's always really potent. So there's this really potent energy around love and money on Monday with the eclipse. And this is at the very final degree of Scorpio. So it's going to be super intense when it comes to love and money. And if you are a water sign, and that's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, have any planets in the earth or water signs, ooh la la. And especially if you're born towards the very end of the earth or water signs, this is such potent energy. So really my advice to everybody with this energy, with the eclipse and everything that's happening next week, is make some really super sweet weekend plans, no matter what that is, and do it with someone who you love. It doesn't matter if you're single, do it with your best friend, whatever. Do it with people you care about. Give your energy to the people you love, because it'll come back to you tenfold with this, not just Venus sextile Jupiter aspect of Monday, but the solar eclipse of Monday as well. So this is just the start of the build up.
I like it.
I know.
It's sounding exciting. I know that there's always the maybe the scary element or the unknown, but as you're saying this, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And I just want to quickly answer Maya's question. So Maya, you said 2 p.m. Zoom event. I want to sign up. How? That's how you get on Kelli's newsletter list. So I've put up a banner here for everyone to see. So if you want to access more events like this with Kelli, make sure you get on her newsletter list, astrology.tv/newsletters, or newsletter works as well. So I just wanted to take a minute to welcome everyone. And so now, Kelli, you've told us about the solar eclipse and these other things going on. I love learning. I feel like I'm back being a student now. I've got my book, I'm ready. And so what does this mean for each of the sun signs?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that, Leanne. So if you're an Aries, this is turbocharged energy because Mars is your ruling planet, and Mars is really hooking in very nicely to this solar eclipse. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of action, assertion, and it's like all systems go if you're an Aries. And it's important to be open-minded, because there will be other people's opinions that might actually change your own at this time. So everybody's like pretty happy that we're in the final month of this year, but things are not going to change, from December 31st to January 1st. There is some great news out there, that's for sure. But it's like, this is the time, Aries, I know you want to go from 0 to 60 in like 1 second, but just sort of like put one foot in front of the other, instead of sort of like diving straight into something without a second thought, which, we know and love you for. But at this time, it's going to be important to really think things through, even though there's some amazing energy coming about for Aries, for all of us, but for some signs more, and Aries is one of those signs. Now, Taurus, for you, what this solar eclipse influence brings for you is something comes to the surface that really has been hidden. And this allows for a really big transformation to come about. So if you're looking, Taurus, to let something go that no longer serves you, this is the time to do it. This is the time to really look to the future and see what you really want, because you can achieve it. 2021, for the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, does bring its own set of challenges. So this is the time, Taurus, where you can release and let go and move forward into your future. And the solar eclipse gives you a boost to be able to do that. Now, Gemini, for you, this solar eclipse is going to have you focus on your closest relationships. And if you're in a situation, be it romantic or otherwise, that no longer serves you, this is the time to let go. There'll be another opportunity next month as well, but nothing quite as big as right now with this solar eclipse. So this is about, if you're in a situation, you might find, and it might not even be a relationship, it could just be any sort of situation that comes up. This is the time where you can turn a corner. Now, something's not obvious to you right now, Gemini, but it will be very soon. Cancer, the crab. So this is the time to focus on you. So this is the time to really look at your health, and that's physical, mental, emotional, whatever that means to you. This is the time to pay attention to you, because Cancer, you're so busy taking care of everybody else that you don't always put your own needs first. And so this solar eclipse really sort of shoves you in that direction of thinking about you for a change. And then you will be very happy that you did that, because this is an eclipse and it always marks really big turning points. Now, Leo, for you, the solar eclipse in Sagittarius is fantastic. If you are single, this is even better. And looking, I should say, this is the time where your relationship will make a turning point. Make a point. Wait, did that sound right? Make a turning point. There'll be a turning point in your relationship. How about that? There'll be a turning point in your relationship at this time. And if you're single and looking, this is a fabulous time to meet someone new. And you know, that tall, dark, and handsome stranger. Definitely something like that. Absolutely. And it's also a really good time for creativity. It's a good time for bringing out your inner child. It's a good time, anything to do with children. It's fantastic for you, Leo. It really is a very sweet time. So definitely make the most of it, especially because Mars, passion planet Mars, is also throwing some light at Leo and the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius at this time, along with the solar eclipse. Now, if you're a Virgo, for you, this will be a time to focus on home and family. It'll mark a turning point within your family dynamic or your family relationships. If you're looking to move in the next 6 months, this is definitely a time to do that, Virgo. Libra, for you, it's all about communication. You are an air sign. It's all about communication anyway. The other air signs are Gemini and Aquarius. But with this solar eclipse, it has you speaking up, even if it's uncomfortable. But speaking up and communication will be absolutely key at this time with the solar eclipse. It's going to be really important to not just gloss over details, but really go deep. If you're looking to increase your skill set, this is most certainly a time to take a class or a course. The focus also for Libra will be on siblings or neighbors. But really, the bottom line here for you, Libra, is about communication. Scorpio, for you, this is a time not just about money and possessions with this solar eclipse, but this is about what is it that you value that goes beyond money and possessions. That's what's going to be really important. Is to really look at what is valuable to you, what goes beyond the money and possessions. What is it that you want that you don't have, or that you have that you don't want? It's sort of that sort of thing. And really, when it comes down to it, you might find that the things that you really value the most, you can't put a price on. And that will come about over the coming weeks and months. Now, Sagittarius, for you, all eyes are on you. The spotlight is on Sagittarius, and your actions will speak louder than words at this time. People are listening to you. They're appreciating your philosophical ideals and values. And Sagittarius, look outside of yourself, look far beyond, as you do, but even more so at this time. And your education and your knowledge will be crucial. Use it very wisely, but you're here to teach the rest of us right now and over the coming weeks and months. So Sagittarius is the explorer and the seeker, but it's also the teacher of the zodiac. So that's going to be very important that you're teaching in some way, however that may be. Capricorn, what is coming about for you is trusting your instincts. It might not be apparent right now, but trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition. You know, Capricorn's a very pragmatic and practical sign, but right with this solar eclipse, it's going to be important that you pay attention to the other side, you know, to the right side of the brain, and use both the left and the right sides of the brains. You know, the logical and the emotional is what is really being called about for Capricorn right now. And Aquarius, this is a really, really big time for Aquarius, because the solar eclipse really brings about, you know, what's close to your heart as an Aquarian is the humanitarian issues or philanthropic things that come about, and the groups and networks and people that you know, acquaintances and friends. But this is really an amazing time for Aquarius for manifestation. It's sort of like, if you can think it, it will be it. I mean, it's that powerful a time. And also next week, of course, with Jupiter and Saturn moving into Aquarius, you might wake up, you know, in a couple of weeks and realize how different your life really is in a much better way. And then finally, for you Pisces, this is about career. Your focus is definitely on your career at this time, and big changes are afoot because, you know, with eclipses and solar eclipses especially are about new beginnings, something you can't see right now, but something's brewing and bubbling beneath the surface. Big change is coming about with your career, your ambitions and your aspirations, most certainly. Muted.
Very interesting. Well, thank you. Yeah, this is great. Am I unmuted now? Okay. Thank you so much, Kelli. That's all. I'm definitely forwarding this video to some of my friends. And so for everyone listening today, this is going to be live on Facebook and YouTube, wherever you're watching this, so you can rewatch it. I know I've noticed a few comments saying like, darn, I just missed my sign. But don't worry, this information is going to be available to you still. And feel free to forward this, share it with your friends, family, loved ones, tag them in the comments. Let's really spread the love and spread the information here. And I'm just going to know, I know, Kelli, you always have gifts that you share with people. And I see that today is actually where you're gifting everyone a 2021 forecast. And so I'm just going to put that up on the screen and share that. And so do you want to, while I'm getting that up, do you want to give any little highlights or a little teaser about what people can expect?
I will. So 2021, another big year, nothing compared to 2020, thankfully. And and so the theme of 2021 from an astrological point of view is going to be the Saturn-Uranus square. So what that means is it's all about the old versus the new. So, you know, we've experienced it in 2020. We've had to throw out things that we've always been used to doing and live life in a completely different way. And that's what the theme is going to continue on with throughout 2021. So it's going to be the things that we've done and have worked, we might be forced to put aside and try new approaches. That's really what 2021 is going to be about. January, there are some issues there with January with regards to impatience and frustration. It's going to be really important that we have patience, and, you know, we wait for the things to come about that we're waiting for. But really, I have to emphasize, Leanne, 2021 is definitely much better. Nothing could be worse than 2020, obviously, but it's sort of like, you know, we can't expect overnight change to come overnight. You know, it's a gradual process, and that's what part of this theme is about for 2021.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing a quick sneak peek of what's to come. I know I will be downloading this forecast. That's where I'm going as soon as this video ends. So thank you so much, Kelli. Thank you for all of the amazing information you shared today. I always enjoy learning from you and knowing what to expect. And yeah, thank you for sharing this forecast with us so we can all get a head start or jump start and get ahead of 2021.
Yes, thanks, Leanne, and thanks to everyone. And I hope you're feeling better too.
Yeah, thanks, Kay. Bye,
See
everyone.
you next week.
Yes. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.